Israelites Relit Ministry.
We got a special speaker today. Our very own Trey will be bringing forth the lesson today, and I am just so excited, as always, to hear from our brethren here on our Bible study group and the teachers and things that they've been bringing forth. Elder Demetrius started us out with Get Out and Stay Out. If you haven't heard that message is on our YouTube channel, which is Israelites Relit. You can go there and listen to it. And then G last Shabbat brought forth a powerful message entitled Choose to Remain Chosen. And today we have our very own Trey. He's going to be bringing forth a lesson. And not only will he be bringing forth a lesson this Shabbat, but he also will be bringing forth a lesson, to my knowledge, next Shabbat as well, too. I believe so. So we're looking forward to hearing the words that the Most High has given to him by the inspiration of the Spirit of the Most High. I know it's going to be edifying for everybody, all right? So turning the service over into the hands of Trey.
This lesson is going to be about what makes us who we are. We consider ourselves many things here in this nation. We've been called by many names in this nation. We've been called Negroes. We've been called African Americans. We've been called Black. Most of us, as a whole, we hold on to Black because that's what's socially accepted at this time. But I ask, and I've been having conversations with one of the brothers, actually everybody. Well, Brother Devin, months ago, we was having conversations about it. And I started to question it. And because I started to question it, slowly but surely, the fullness of what Black was started to really bleed out into my eyes and ears, and even in my to my spirit, to start recognizing that, one, Black wasn't given to, we don't call ourselves that because while we were traveling here on a slave ship, everybody came into a consensus with each other, chained up and saying, hey, we're going to call ourselves Black when we get there. And we all did high fives and gave each other dap. And then we all was like, all right, now we're finna pick cotton as Black people. That did not happen. Mm-hmm. Black was given to us, just like Negro was given to us. But with that being said, have we ever questioned it? Have we ever asked ourselves, what is it? When you go into slavery, I hate to use this analogy, but I'm gonna use it. Slavery is not, the people who enslave you can't turn around and give you a date of when it starts and when it ends. Mm-hmm. That's the Most High never did that. The Most High did the opposite. He said, you're not out of captivity until I come get you. When I free you from your enemies, when I break those bonds from you, when I put you back into your land, when they don't benefit off your labor, that's when you're out of captivity. That's when you are away from your enemies. And he specifically called them our enemies. Mm-hmm. He didn't say they're your enemies, but then when you become friends with one of them at your job, that one at your job kind of make up for all the bullcrap that y'all been through the whole time y'all been enslaved. So your homeboy Ken, while you're, pressing stamps or while you're cleaning the floor at Walmart, the homeboy Ken who's like, hey, and he know jive talk and he know how to give the high five and the dap. He doesn't make up for what his forefathers did.
Mm-hmm.
That's not, if that's the case, why would the Most High say that there's going to be Hebrews that's going to judge the other nations? What do they be judged? If that's the case, then wouldn't he be like, nah, you know, your homeboy Ken gave you dap, so and he knows some jive talk. He started dating a sister. He got some mulatto babies.
Mm-hmm.
He know how to dance. Do we ever ask ourselves, what do we accept as Black?
Mm-hmm.
Do we ever question it? Or do we just, as a whole, I'm not talking about the individual. So as an individual, you may say to yourself, you know what? I never accepted it. That's good for, hey, wonderful. That's a blessing. It truly is a blessing. But as a whole, we accept it.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we have a woman that's running for the White House right now. We say, or not we, because we know we can't vote. I pray that everybody here knows that we can't vote. Mm-hmm. But the only person we can vote for is one of our people that's above us. Mm-hmm. But ain't it kind of funny that they're now saying that she's one of us? And everybody is trying to push us to vote for her. Mm-hmm. Not just everybody, but very specific people. Mm-hmm. Do you know that the main three Negro talk show hosts that's pushing her on us are all Qs, Omega Psi Alpha? Do you know they all worship the god Anubis? That's their god. And they pushing her, who at one point was an Indian. She completely said, I'm an Indian. When she was going into the White House as a vice president, she was also sacrificing to her Indian gods. And I want to expose that when it's time to expose it. But I'm going to give a disclaimer. Today, I'm going to speak to you from the word, but I'm going to also give you definitions, and I'm going to give you articles that target certain things that expose what Black is. But also in the future, I'm going to expose the hand behind it. But with that, we just have to go over certain things before I present that, because we gotta we know the enemy that we're working against, and if you don't understand, I want you to use your mind and understanding. They own all platforms that we use, and I'm talking about directly. Own the platforms that we use. They invented the cell phone. They own all social media platforms. They're the CEOs. They created it. They monitor it. We'll expose that also. But I want you to understand that as we move forward, we need to really watch our step, because it's not just as easy as just putting it out there. You got to let discretion keep you. And believe me, when they say your adversary, the devil, which is their father, that they worship, and they say it out their own mouth, they worship him. They're trying to watch everything that people do. They're trying to police the world. With that being said, I pray that this teaching is edifying, and it's only an introduction to where we're going, to the direction we're going. This teaching is called Under Whose Authority? Under whose authority are we under? So when we turn around and say that we're Black, under whose authority are we Black? Is that what Yahuwah called us? Did he say you was Black? Have you ever felt that in your spirit? If our Black people make up majority of what? Christianity. Mm-hmm. For the most part, Black people make up, as a religion in this nation, the majority of it is of us as a whole is Christians. Mm-hmm. Meaning, whether we can say as individuals, no, I've never been a Christian. I'm gonna tell you this: this nation is is a Christian nation, and there's Christian influences everywhere. That's why you can go to a rural town. When we first moved here, this was a what do they call it? On Sunday they didn't sell alcohol because it was blue laws.
Like a dry.
It was a dry town because they said there's a Christian county and they don't sell alcohol on Sunday. In some way, shape, or form, you were influenced by it. In some way, shape, or form, your great-grand people were influenced by it, if you go down the line. But it's kind of funny, before Reconstruction, no Negro was hardly ever Christians. Why? Why before Reconstruction? Why is that? Because before Reconstruction, Negroes understood that these people wearing these masks, these people that was on these horses, these people that was hanging us, these people that was lynching us, called themselves Christians. Mm-hmm. And because they called themselves Christians, they understood that that was linked to our oppressors. Mm-hmm. They directly understood that. They directly knew that. They didn't take it away from nothing. They was just like, hey, that's just what it is. And this is what the Most High meant when he said that you was going to worship different Els. But the thing about it is, most Els that we worship today was by force. Not before the transatlantic slave trade, you had the Arab slave trade. So when you see the Nation of Islam, or you see people that's Muslims, it's because of the Arab trade slave, the Muslim trade slave. That's just facts. You can trace it all the way back. Now we got becomes Christianity, but now we have New Age. And that's hard to trace because it's more of a virus. I mean it in that in such, because a virus, when a virus get on your computer, it don't just take your whole computer. It starts somewhere and it slowly but surely creeps. Even Yeshua talked about viruses. He spoke of viruses as leaven. A little leaven leavens the whole lump. You put a little bit of leaven, you can put 1% leaven and 99% of it could just be regular dough, not even leaven. Slowly but surely that leaven start to eat it until the whole lump is full. Well, I'm telling you, New Age is just like that. You'll start hearing people say just strange stuff, manifesting, the light. Then it'll start intertwining with what you're saying, and you're like, oh, okay. You'll find yourself agreeing. Next thing you know, you got crystals and chakra and incense and your demons and apparitions popping up in your house, and you swearing it's Yahuwah. Oh, Malik visited me. Nope, that wasn't. That was a demon.
Right.
Pop locking in your living room, talking to you. You don't know why. Dogs barking at you for no reason. You don't have a clue what's going on. But you're accepting it because you like, no different in Christianity. Did we not accept the Hoba Shoba Ababa running around the church? When backflipping, when the spirit moved and the people started beating on the drums, did we not do all that stuff? And we accepted it for a long time. But now that you come out of something, if it was so right to be that, why would the Most High draw you out of something to come talk to you? If any of it was good. Now you're speaking different, dressing different, looking different. You can even look at some of your old pictures. Some of you even burning them. Doing weird stuff, just burning them. Burning pictures, burning, like I can't believe I had that dress on. Man, look at them pleather pants. I can't believe it. I was dressing like that. I can't believe I had velvet and cashmere corduroys. Now you done changed some things, right? So we're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna discuss it. If at any point in time you feel the need to interrupt, to speak on something, to correct me on anything, please do that. We're gonna do this different because I don't want it to be about this isn't a TV show. This is a real thing, because out there in that world is real. And I'm starting to hear more New Age speaking from family, friends, co-workers. I'm hearing it. I'm hearing it from folks in this walk. Folks in this walk are talking New Age things. Folks, I had folks that I know that didn't even read books at all are now with crystals and chakras and everything else that I had no clue about. And I'm like, so you went from not ever reading to now you manifesting and astral projecting. How did you become so complicated and deep? Now you're a theologian in with the zeitgeist or whatever it is that you into. So we're going to expose these things because the Most High said, expose the unfruitful works of darkness, right? Well, let's expose it. Let's expose it. I'm going to share something with you before we go there. Let me share it with you right quick. Let's look up this definition, something. And it says a byword is a person or thing cited as notorious, an outstanding example or embodiment of something. His name become a byword for luxury. Back in the day, I remember they talked about Donald Trump or when they talked about Bill Gates. When you said Bill Gates, you didn't talk about that he was a devil that was trying to put vax people up. Everybody like, I want that money like Bill Gates money. Rappers talked about him and everything, and we got caught up in it. Some of y'all still got the albums. It says a word or expression summarizing a thing's characteristics or a person's principles. All right. All right. And the Most High called us a byword. So what is that thing that we make up when it comes to being Black? And why is it that when they called us Negro, isn't Negro, you know Spanish, come on, you know Española. What does Negro mean?
Black.
All right, Negro means Black. Wasn't that good enough? Look, Elder Demetrius, I see you talking about you Black because y'all both from that California area. Y'all know Espanol. I only know the numbers and what goes on tacos and stuff. No disrespect, but that's I'm limited. But with that being said, why wasn't Negro good enough if it meant Black? Why did they then turn around? Why did they then turn around and then call us Black again in English? Why is that Black different from Negro Black? And I'm gonna tell you what's the difference.
That's gonna get heavy.
I'm gonna show you what's the difference. I'm gonna share something with you. Obadiah, all right, go.
Love you guys. Go on. Love you. Go on. Go play.
This, and we're gonna go over this real quick. This is a map of where our people come from. It's Negro land. This is the Songhai dynasty. This is where the part of West Africa that we settled in. And the reason I'm showing you this is because this is particularly tied to Negro. These are the people when King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella kicked us out of Portugal and Spain and sent our people into West Africa. Some of them also came down and inhabited this part of Negro land. The thing about it is, they weren't just sitting out there in the middle of mud huts, but a majority of people lived in villages and cultivated rice and sorghums and millets, while some communities specialized in herding and fishing. Trade flourished in the towns, which housed a wide array of craftspeople, along with growing numbers of Islamic teachers and holy men. The main commercial centers were capital Niani, Timbuktu, and Gao. The reason I'm showing you that for a reason. Because when they put us into ships and shipped us over here, they didn't ship us over here not knowing anything. They shipped people who knew how to do stuff over here. As a matter of fact, they shipped people who knew how to do stuff better than them over here. Because they didn't do it. They couldn't take the sun and the culture. What it was was that you ship people over here that was very proficient at growing food, very proficient at growing crops and building houses and nursing. One of the presidents in one of the presidents of the United States had a particular disease, and he went to one of his slaves. And when one of his slaves found out this disease he had, and this man was going to die, he was suffering bad. That president went to this slave who told him, hey, we have a cure for that in West Africa. And they went over there and found out that they had this herb that could cure him, and he did. And it became a medical breakthrough within Europe society because they had so many people suffering from it. So you didn't just get anybody. You had doctors, lawyers, you had judges, you had people who know how to do that you put on that ship and brought over here. Not just anybody.
Skills.
So again, if you had people who know how to do and you brought them into slavery, and now we consider Black, and we have a problem with Black. A huge problem that you got to pay attention to amongst our people. If you're not looking around and seeing the condition of the flocks, we are the sheep. If we're lost sheep, are you looking around at everybody, or are you just looking for within? Who did Yeshua say you go to, the healthy or the sick? Are you watching the sickness that's in this world? I'm talking about amongst our own people, because I'm seeing them, they sick. I can't recognize who we are at times. Some of these dudes walking around with women of other nations, some of the women walking around with men of the other nations. I'm talking about all of them. And some of the dudes walking around with women that look like dumpster fires. Something got to be wrong within. I mean what I'm saying? And it's something got to be wrong within if that's what you're picking. I mean it. I mean what I'm saying, though. Because for some odd reason, the other ethnic groups, when they get one of our sisters, they try to get the best. They try to get something that they can take to court if she ever leaves and get alimony. The men get the ones who take them to court and take them for everything, and they only got 2 nickels to make a hot dime. So they go into the negatives twice. The hot dumpster fire and the dime getting taken. With that being said, right, we're going to go to scripture. What's in a name? What's in it? Let's go to Genesis 32, 27 and 28. Genesis 32, 27 and 28. And again,
32.
Genesis 32, 27 to 28. Again, this is going to be an introduction. It will not be as long as I need it or want it to be, because I have to be careful. I need to get with some of the elders, and we have to be careful with the video that we have to put out. I have a lot of video and a lot of literature, but we have to be careful with how we put it out there. It's a possibility that when I do put the video out there, we can't even record it, because who's ever here is going to be able to see it. We won't be able to put it out there because I'm not stupid. I don't want nobody knocking on my door, or they can. Some in this thing. But Genesis 32, 27 and 28. 32 or 27? Where we at? All right. Let me give you the breakdown. This is when Yaakov is doing his kung fu moves with this Malik out there, and they wrestling, and he's doing his MMA stuff. And the Malik ain't giving up because he know he can break his neck because he got the Most High in him, and he just looking at this human do his thing, but he's testing him, checking him out, seeing his smooth move like X-Lax, and he's about to get ready to talk to him. Go ahead, Mama, talk to him.
And he said unto him, what is your name? And he said, Yaakov. And he said, your name shall be called no more Yaakov, but Yasharel. For as a prince have you power with Elohim and with men, and have prevailed.
All right. I want you to take that in for 1 second. For some odd reason, him wrestling with this mallet had to do with the changing of his name. So much important. Think about who the Most High sent. Most High sent this mallet, go wrestle with this man. Most High peeping all this out. And then he got a word for him. Your father gave you the name Yaakov. Your father, Isaac. And you got to think he was a twin. And then the Most High said, no more would your name be Yaakov, but Yashra'al or Israel. I'm going to change your name. Yahuwah said this. That ain't nothing small. When did the Most High ever jump the gun and get in front of a father and his son and change his name? Abraham called his son Isaac. He didn't say, no more your name is Isaac. But Abraham had his name changed. Yeah. When the Most High got something for you and he changed your name, he changing some missions.
That's right.
And he's sealing you to a thing. And he expects you to live up to it. It's so important that the Most High did it. And he called him Yashra'al. And Yashra'al is a name of a nation of people. That means that the Most High had us in mind when he did that. He thought about us. I don't know if anybody ever asked yourself, man, do I ever cross the Most High mind ever? And not when you do it wrong. Not when you're getting that chastisement whip on your back. I'm talking about like just when things is just going and you just doing and things are flowing right. And then you look around because it says he's always looking at men. Do you ever wonder, man, do he look down and do he see me? Man, I'm trying. Or do he always see me when I do something wrong? Don't it seem like, I don't know. I mean, we Negroes, it seemed like growing up, sometimes it seemed like Negro parents don't see you till you do something wrong. I'm watching you. I'm like, dang, when I was cutting the grass, you didn't even say nothing. As soon as I start picking on the dog, you watching me from the kitchen window, your creepy behind. I ain't tell Mom I got a whoop, but you know what I mean. But the Most High said, he said, I'm going to change your name to Yashra'al. And he's thinking of all of us in this. He's talking about a whole nation of people. Mind you, he didn't even say this he said to Abram that he changed his name to Abraham, but the promise of Abraham's name was because he was going to be a father of many nations. And Abraham had Ishmael, became a nation. Isaac became a nation through Jacob, and the rest of his kids. Abraham had some kids in his latter years. He was busy. And all of them became a nation. All brothers became a nation. Every male child from Abraham became a nation. It's kind of funny. A lot of them nations turned on Israel. The Amalekites turned on Israel. Ishmaelites turned on Israel. Even through Isaac, Edom turned on Israel. Numbers 13 and 16. Numbers 13 and 16. You there? Oh, wow. Okay. Okay.
Well, because I saw it there.
All right. If anybody, if you get there, if you throw a one, I don't want to go too fast. Numbers 13 and 16.
I'm gonna go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. These are the names of the men which Moshe sent to spy out the land, And Moshe called Husha, the son of Nun, Yahusha.
And if somebody got a KJV, you will see that he called him his in KJV it says Hosea, son of Nun. But in the Sefer, it says his name was Husha. But Moshe called him Yahusha or Yeshua, but he was son of Nun. So it said only Moshe called him that. And of course, Moshe was talking directly with the Most High plenty of times. And you know the Most High told him to bestow upon this man who's going to precede you after you leave here in leadership, give him this name and this title. Why? What did Yeshua, son of Nun, do? Why would he change his name to the same name as the Messiah? Why would he give him that name? Because most likely he gave him that name because the Messiah in the future, our King, Yeshua, is going to do the exact same thing that Yeshua did, son of Nun, going back into the promised land. Yeshua is not coming back to dip Oreos in some milk. I know that that's how JC, with his shirt wide open, looking like Prince, look like he about to dip some milk when he come back from the sky, and everybody gonna eat him, and they gonna just let you know that the milk got chocolate brown, and they're gonna say it's not maybe Yoo-hoo and Nestle Quick. That ain't about to happen at all. They about to get some heads chopped off. Read the book of Joshua or the book of Yeshua, and you find out this man had no love. He did exactly what the Most High told him to do, including put his feet on the necks of 5 kings and chop their heads off.
Hallelujah.
Are we ready for that? That came with a name change. That came with a name change. We're going to get back to black. I'm just building this thing up that's inside of you because we're going to go to the book of Daniel and then Revelations. And I hope Revelations actually when we go into Revelations, I hope it put a fire in you, myself, my wife, you, your children, pass it down for generations to generations so they can know that they have a promise that was spoken about in Genesis 32, 27 and 28. When the Most High said that you're Yashra'al to Jacob, he was talking about you. That's a prophecy. It's not just a name. His singular name was Yaakov. His plural name, which is many, is Yashra'al. We're a part of that. We're supposed to be. That's us too. Everybody was in that before any of us was thought about. King David, we're from a block. Man, we from a people. We ain't nobody. But you're going to realize what black was used for. It was to take away somebody from you.
Right.
So again, Daniel, chapter 1, 1 through 7.
Give me a second.
I feel you.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, you know
Sorry about that.
what is this? The Apocrypha?
No.
The Sefer, my bad. The Sefer. I ain't gonna lie, the Sefer, it discombobulate. I don't know if anybody used that word discombobulate.
No.
We used to use that in Mississippi. It ain't even in the dictionary.
Okay.
But I guess it meant confusion.
1 through 7.
Yeah.
Okay. 1 through 7.
Chapter 1, yeah, 1 through 7. Go ahead and put a 1 if you're there, though. Anybody? We're gonna fire it off. There it is. Go for it.
Bless y'all. Okay. In the 3rd year of the reign of Yahuakim, king of Yehuda, came Nebuchadnezzar.
We'll just say Nebuchadnezzar.
Oh, is that what?
Yeah.
Okay. King of Babel and Jerusalem, and came unto Jerusalem and besieged it. And Yahuwah gave Jehoiakim, king of Yehuda, into his hand with the part of the vessels of the house of Elohim, which he carried into the land of Shinar to the house of his Elohim, and he brought the vessels into the treasure house of his Elohim. And the king spoke to Aspenaz, the master of the eunuchs, that he should bring certain of the children of Yasharel and the king's seed, and of the princes, children in whom was no blemish, but well favored and skillful in all wisdom and cunning and knowledge and understanding science, and such as had ability in them to stand in the king's palace, and whom they might teach the learning and the tongue of the Chaldeans. And the king appointed them a daily provision of the king's meat and of the wine which he drank. So nourishing them 3 years, at the end thereof they might stand before the king. Now among these were the children of Yehuda, Daniel, Chanayahu, Mishael, and Azariahu, unto whom the prince of the eunuchs gave names, for he gave unto Daniel the name Baal Teshazar, and to Chanayahu the name of Shadrach, and Mishael the name Meshach, and Azrayahu the name Abednego.
All right. We see that Nebuchadnezzar took not just Daniel and
Hananiah, Azariah, and Mishael.
say that again louder.
Hananiah, Azariah, and Mishael. That's how I learned.
All right, I'm gonna call them the Hebrew men because I'm not gonna say their name real fast a lot. What I'm saying is he took those 4, brought them into the palace, but they're not just the only 4. It said that he brought certain ones from Yehuda. It says the kings, people, the princes, and some goodly looking men. I don't know why he was looking for some goodly looking men, but it says he was. And it actually makes more sense because he's Nebuchadnezzar, and that is the head of gold, and it's confusion by mixing. And I believe he was a little bit more confused than we thought. And it said he changed his name. Shatzar. But I'm gonna tell you something that actually makes more sense than it makes sense. Walk with me. What is the name of that book? Can you say it out loud? This book?
Daniel.
That's it.
Daniel.
The book is called the Book of Daniel. Why is it not called the Book of Belshazzar?
Belshazzar.
It ain't no power in that name when it comes to the children of Israel. It means something to the Most High to put this particular prophet with the name that was given to him at birth as a prophet, and not the name that Nebuchadnezzar tried to change it into. Most High ain't care nothing about none of that. In the midst of, and I'm sure Nebuchadnezzar called him Beelzebub, and I bet you that Daniel answered to it. Hey, what's happening? What's the deal? What you want? What you need? Oh, you had a dream? Okay. With your son? Would you seen ghostly fingers writing? Okay. Keep calling me that? All right. But in his heart of hearts, and when it came down to writing that particular scroll, that scroll was written in the name of Daniel. I'm gonna tell you why. Daniel means Elohim is my judge.
All right.
Beelzebub means Lord of the straightened treasure. Daniel, which is Yahuwah is his judge, rejected treasures from Babylon. Regardless if it was given to him. His son was like, I'll put a gold chain on your neck, baby. You can be iced out like the rappers. He like, keep that. I'll still tell you what it is. And then he told him how bad it was for him. Most High taking his kingdom for you. Well, still give him the chain. Because I made that decree. I know he wanted to take it back out of that. the point I'm trying to make is there's power in the name that was given to him out of the land in which he came. That's why the name that you're given here, your government name, it works here.
All right.
This is where it works. Terrence Nettles, I'm saying like the Mississippi, the girls in Mississippi. Terrence, I'd be like, well, how many R's is it? Terrence Nettles work well because it's attached to a social security number and it's tax purposed. It's sealed by another people's name. Nettles is a Ashkenazi Jewish name from out of Australia. Somebody who owned a plantation here, who owned my people here. But Daniel was trying to give, God dang it, Nebuchadnezzar was trying to give Daniel a name in Babylon. Babylon was the head of gold. Babylon is confusion by mixing. Though I'm a Negro, though I'm a Hebrew, my name, Terrence, is English. Nettles is Ashkenazi. That's confusion by mixing. I'm not knocking the name that your parents have given you. I get it. Everybody like their name. I got a good name. I know somebody, I know somebody got Bartholomew in their name. Maybe that's their middle name or something. Alfonso Esquire. Albert Cleophas III. I get it. You like your name. Your mama gave you that name. Your daddy held you up to the moon and gave you that name. I get it. But believe me, the US government needs you to have that name when you fill out the application for a reason, because that name is attached to things and has authority in this land. It has no authority in the next land. But I'm going to prove that the word shows you that it doesn't have authority in the next land. When the Most High say, I'm coming to get you, the Most High don't, let me tell you something. When Yahuwah say that he coming to get you, he coming to get you for what's good or for bad. I don't know if nobody here have ever gotten chastised by the Most High before. But when he pull out that belt, that hot leather, when he take it off, dip it in hot gasoline grease and crack you across your back. He said, I'm going to get you. He got you. But he chastised those he loved. Right? Right? Let's turn to Revelations 2:17. Revelations 2:17. This to prove, I'm letting the word prove it. And I mean what I'm saying. If this is not what you're getting out of it, talk to me. Shoot it across the comment. Break silence with the audio. Say, hold on, brother.
Yes,
Pump your brakes. You ain't making no sense. You ain't making no sense at all. I don't see it. All right. Revelations 2:17, go for it.
Okay. An ear, let him hear what the Ruach says unto the called out assemblies. To him that overcomes, I will give to eat of the hidden manna, and I will give him a white stone, and in the stone a new name written, which no man knows, saving he that receives it.
Wait a minute, what? Yeshua said you're going to get a new name, and it's going to be written on some stone.
In a stone, yeah.
And ain't nobody going to know it but you. Ain't nobody. I think that's incorrect English. It don't matter. Ain't nobody going to know it but you. When you read it, only you. I know people going to be trying to peek over your shoulder because they probably don't know what their name mean yet. I ain't got one yet. We are going to be excited. People going to be trying to cheat, but you can't because it's going to be yours. And it's going to have power where you're going. And he's going to take the name back from Babylon. He's going to take confusion back from you. There's power in a name. Doesn't it say that there's no other name on earth? Why is there power in the name of Yeshua? It's crazy that I said that, like,
I was just
thunder just
horrible
happened.
thunder. Horrible thunder.
The point I'm trying to make is there's power in it. Why do you think they took your name from you? Didn't he say they're going to cut Israel off so there could be no more? They cut Yashua all off so there could be no more. There's an Israel in English still on this earth. There's some people that act and look and taking up some names.
No power.
No.
For real.
Yeah. Toby. There is, I'll tell you.
Okay, thank you.
There is power in the name of Yeshua. It says, didn't he say you can cast out what in his name?
Cast out
Demons in his name? Unclean spirits in his name? He said you can do if whatever you ask in my name.
That's right.
If there's nothing, brothers, beloved, my people, if there was nothing about a name, why would somebody go through so much trouble to take it?
All right.
We seen Roots. I'm glad Elder Demetrius said that. We seen it. And though I always question media, I understand the process of what they were trying to show, of how they was forcing something on us. And I believe it happened just like that.
Yeah.
And what I mean by I believe it happened like that, I believe how that man portrayed us on that movie when he was fighting and he's saying Kuta Kinte. I believe we have way more fighters than spineless jellyback cowards like every other movie they try to make after that. Yes, sir, boss, eyes are just a-coming. What you want me to do? Chuck and jive for a piece of bread? What you want me to do? Go through the back door? I believe it was more Negroes kicking down the front door.
Right.
Slapping master upside the head. Pow! I actually read a real account of during slavery where a slave owner tried to get a Negro to do something. Then he went and got a taskmaster. When a taskmaster came out there, the Negro was like, yo, you hit me with that, I'll take what you finna hit me with and crack you upside the head and leave you out here. And then the guy over the house was like, don't even bother him. I just want this done. This was a real account from a slave watching on as this happened. Folks was way more tired.
Yes.
It wasn't just a Nat Turner incident. It was plenty incidents. Nat wasn't the only revolt.
That's right.
Nat revolt was used to get you to be a coward. They used and raised him up to then tell you what they did to him afterwards. Oh, we used his fat for to oil leather with. We still got his skull. We tear him apart. We do all this stuff. That's to get you scared, to be like, I don't want to do nothing. I don't want what happened to him. But didn't Yeshua say, be faithful unto death? What if the Most High tell you to fight? What you gonna do about that?
All right. Get that crown of life.
Have we not read? They're good. Have we not read what Moshe did in Egypt? Look to the left and look to the right. And Kung Fu drop kicked that dude until he died. Twisted his head off backwards. Buried him in the sand. Look at her thunder. Okay, he didn't do all that drop kick and kick his head off backwards. But you get what I'm saying? He killed him. And then his own people snitched. He had to run for his life. Well, it's kind of funny. The Most High said, I'm going to send you back into Egypt again in ships. Maybe people are more scared of your real name than you think.
Hallelujah.
If they wasn't, what's the purpose of slavery? And let me explain something, beloved, to us all. slavery don't end when your enemies say it ends. 1692, some European, the same descendants that enslaved you, another one came up and freed you, but they can't explain the years after that. They can't explain Reconstruction, Jim Crow, mass lynchings. They can't explain none of that. They just focus in on, but we gave y'all a slave day when we ended it. Well, then explain Juneteenth. You can't explain nothing. You're just talking. No. Slavery is still, it's a full process.
Yes.
Let me give you an analogy about slavery. When you go shopping, right? You pull up at the grocery store. For some odd reason, I drive like this in my imagination. It's a Chevy. We pull up, we hop out. Shopping doesn't stop happening until you're at the checkout counter, groceries in the car, driven back to your house. The whole process is done when you get the bags into your house, put the groceries away, and with my wife, your hands got to be washed. That's when it's done. Until then, you're still in the midst of it all. So how can you come to a place that they went out the way to put you into a system of shackles? That was just part of the process. That was just pulling up at the grocery store. Then they went shopping with us. That's right, shopping with us. All right, go on now. They went shopping with us, just like in the grocery store. They went through this full process of breaking us, taking our lane, forcing us into a thing. And I'm gonna tell you something, what I just showed y'all on when I just shared this particular image about what we were doing in Negro land for a reason. If we don't show any of the attributes and skills that we were in Negro land, if we're not any of that, if we're not what we were during the agricultural period in the United States, meaning they didn't have slaves. Get that image out of your mind. They did not have slaves. They had agriculturalists. They didn't have slaves. They had brick masons, architects. They didn't have slaves. They had sailors. They had artists. They had nurses. Mothering was a skill amongst our people. Mothering was such a skill that the whole time Abraham was walking, his wife kept up with him. The whole time Jacob was walking with 4 Negro women. They knew their place, and I'm not speaking of I don't take it how you want. They knew their place, they knew their order, they understood their position, they understood who was leading, they understood when to go, how to go, what to do, how to raise them babies together. Even if they fussed and argued, they knew how to move when that young man came up and it was time to do whatever they need to do. They had order. That's who they got into slavery. They took all of that. A lot of those people during slavery, a lot of the misses it was actually considered something disgusting to breastfeed their own babies. So they got our women to do it because they saw them being better mother and nursing their children. They understood back then the connection that there was they understood that when they fed their baby eyes were just rolling in the back of their head. They didn't want to look at them. But they understood that the Negro woman, when she was breastfeeding, she was humming and singing songs and speaking to them, and there was a connection there. and she wanted to give that same connection that they had with their babies to her babies. She said, don't feed your babies and give that to my babies. That's how much mothering was a skill set. Do you understand before the civil rights era, do you understand that during W.E.B. Du Bois' time, almost 30% of the women in the Negro community was housewives? That was actually counted as a skill within our people. Within our people, we considered that a skill to be a housewife. Now it ain't nothing. You just, But those who got one know something. I see y'all out there. You're probably looking at your old lady like, all right, now you one of them. You one of them. You one of them. You feel me?
Bless y'all.
It's a skill, a wonderful skill. And if you don't want to admit to it as a man, your kids know. Because everybody know they mom. Everybody know they mom. All right. My son ain't no joke. Say something crazy about he calling his mama now. Right now.
Hold on, okay.
I'm saying this for a reason. Because the fullness of the fullness of slavery, the fullness of Reconstruction, the fullness of the Civil Rights era, the fullness of it was to break that. Not, how can we be so connected and then at the end of a thing, we're so broken if breaking us wasn't the outcome, it was your mission to do it.
Yes.
That was your sole purpose of doing it. Right now, the status that we are as Negroes today was your outcome when you picked them up as slaves. This was your outcome back then. Do not, when those Catholics was sprinkling water and telling them to eat pork and then go on a good ship, Jesus, that was the name of the ship. That was the purpose in the beginning. See, the problem is as Negroes, we don't have think tanks. We can't even get together for chicken dinners no more. We can't even get together. Daniel and them got together for vegetables. They rejected things. We can't even get together for broth. Nothing. Nothing. We actually hold ourselves more accountable to people who don't look like us than we hold ourselves accountable for people who look like us, whether they're in this truth or not. Whether they in this truth or not. The shame that should be on us as a people. The shame that should be on us as a people. Our elders understood. Our elders even understood the basics of where to drive using the Green Book. They understood we need to get in this car, drive during this time, get to Aunt Peggy's house before sun go down, because do you know that Judge Joe Brown said that it was so bad where he was from that he was holding his mama's Coca-Cola one day and a bullet came through his car door and it bust the glass Coca-Cola on him, and all his dad and mama did was say, get down on the floor. The people, these people was taking shots on them while they were driving the cars past in the country. So our people knew how to move. They said, man, this is a Green Book. This is where we can go. This is how we can do things. Now we don't even know how to move. There's no Green Book. We don't know how to move. We just go everywhere. Looking for our just dues. Now we out here just doing. Popping up anywhere. Looking like anything.
Standing.
Looking like them. Acting like them. In the midst of a marsh pit. Now you can't tell us nothing. It can be you'll look and sit on the side of the road. They got monster truck, chugging beer, Trump flag. Woohoo! We're MAGA. And they got a marsh pit and they got a rock and roll song literally saying, we're giving our life to Satan today. Yeah. They slang it everywhere. And then in the midst of them, you see a Negro. Hey, giving our life to Satan today. Yeah.
I hear you.
Hey, doing the funky Watusi. looking plumb stupid. And then when all Sambo, it's Sambo. Now Uncle Tom was the good man. Sambo was it.
Yeah.
And then when everything get going crazy out there,
Yeah.
who the first person get hit?
Mhm.
I don't understand why. Can't we all just get along? I don't understand what's going on. Everybody mad because I'm different.
Help us, y'all. Help us.
I'm unique. I got it tatted on my neck, unique.
Help us, y'all.
Let me explain something about the Torah. The Torah is a set of laws to change or influence social behavior. The Torah is a set of laws to change or influence social behavior. Meaning, if you were in wickedness and then somebody gave you the Torah, you said, hey, we're these people. And then you start reading them and you start doing what you're reading. You're actually doing it. It's going to change your social behavior. If that's not true, why did the Most High draw us out of a thing? What did he take us from? Bad social behaviors. You don't believe that? Then explain to me what black is.
Oh, okay.
What was you eating
Right.
being black?
Unclean.
Where was you going while being black? Keep it to yourself. You don't got to share it with the world. Think of some of the stuff you did while being black. When you was like, I'm black. I'm a black man. What was your black behind that?
Who was you with?
Every weekend, where was you at? On the Sabbath, what was you getting ready to go do? You can't even tell, you can't tell black folks nothing on Friday and Saturday. Matter of fact, that is even why you can't even convince folks that this is even the truth, because you better not tell them on Friday, because they getting lead press on nails and they ironing clothes. They ain't even ironing no more, so we can stop that. They looking like hot garbage, going to a place of hot garbage. And you can't tell them nothing.
They ain't giving up that Friday night.
Joshua 24, 14 to 15.
Give me a second.
Joshua 24, verses 14 and 15. Yep. Because now church is just a social event. Joshua 24, verse 14 and 15. And I'm not saying that to all. To anybody who may see this video, I'm not talking about the minority. I'm speaking of the majority. I'm not speaking of individualism. I'm talking about us as a whole. And I pray that inside this walk, we get out of individualism and start understanding that we are still a nation of people. The Most High said, I'm coming to get all y'all.
Yeah.
So if you don't even involve everybody, something's wrong. It's all right to separate yourself from wickedness. It actually tells you to separate from wickedness to bring people to repentance. Yeah. But you should never separate yourself to not identify yourself with these people. They may be black. You may say, I'm a Negro, whatever you call yourself. I'm a Hebrew. They still a Hebrew, whether they admit to it or not. I tell a brother at work all the time, and he talks so new age that it don't make any logical sense. And then when I talk this, when I speak that we're Hebrew, I say, you Hebrew too. He said, no, I'm not. I say, you know what? You don't even got to admit to it. You don't even got to accept it. You are whether you like it or not. Say whatever you want. And then you know the sad part about it? He got a cousin that came into his house and said, hey, you're Hebrew whether you like it or not. I said,
I know who you
do I
talking
need to
about.
say anything? The Most High sent another witness. He'll do the work. The Most High, let me give you this testimony with this particular brother. The Most High is so powerful that he affected this man's diet when I was trying to speak to this brother and say, man, give up that bull crap you be eating. It just be looking nasty, smelling nasty, sinking. Give it up. Give it up. I ain't giving up nothing. I do what I want to do. I'm munching on this pork chop whether you like it or not. You talking to me like Eddie came from the 5 Heartbeats. But then he got sick.
Yeah, it's very sick.
You know what the doctor told him? Stop eating pork. It don't matter what I say. When the Most High go do a thing, he do the thing. He show up to show out. Period. Period. So back to the Torah again is a set of laws to change social behavior or to change or influence social behavior. Joshua 24:14 through 25. Go ahead, speak it.
14 through 25.
14 to 25. Yeah.
All right. If you guys are there.
Hold on, go for it.
Okay. Now, therefore, fear Yahuwah and serve him in sincerity and in truth, and put away the Elohim which your fathers served on the other side of the flood and in Mitzrayim, and serve ye Yahuwah. And if it seem evil unto you to serve Yahuwah, choose you this day whom you will serve, whether the Elohai which your fathers served, that were on the other side of the flood, or the Elohim or of the Amorim, in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve Yahuwah. And the people answered and said, far be it that we should forsake Yahuwah to serve other Elohim. For Yahuwah Eloheinu, he it is that brought us up. Our fathers brought us up, and our fathers out of the land of Mitzrayim, from the house of bondage, and which did those great signs in our sight, and did guard us in all the way wherein we went, and among all the people through whom we passed. And Yahuwah drove out from before us all the people, even the Amorim, which dwelt in the land. Therefore will we also serve Yahuwah, for he is our Elohim. And Yahusha said unto the people, ye cannot serve Yahuwah, for he is a holy Elohim. He is a jealous El. He will not forgive your transgressions nor your sins if you forsake Yahuwah and serve strange Elohai. Then he will turn and do you hurt and consume you. After that he has done you good. And the people said unto El Yahusha, nay, but we will serve Yahuwah. And Yahusha said, unto the people, ye are witnesses against yourselves, that ye have chosen you, Yahuwah, to serve him. And they said, we are witnesses. Now therefore put away, said he, the strange Elohai which are among you, and incline your heart unto El Yahuwah Elohai of Yasharel. And the people said unto El Yahusha, Yahuwah Eloheinu will we serve, and his voice will we obey. You said go to 25? Mm-hmm. Okay. So Yahusha cut a covenant with the people that day and set them a statute and an ordinance in Shechem.
All right. Remember I said the Torah is a set of laws to change or influence social behavior. When Joshua told them to serve him, at the end of all that he said to them, it said that he cut a covenant with them and set them statutes and ordinances, meaning things to do. That was within the Torah. Things to do And before he said all that, he said, don't serve the gods that your people serve before coming over here to this land, and don't serve the ones that was in Egypt. Again, the Most High sent us back into Egypt again in ships. That covenant in which they cut, it applies today. If he sends you back into something, the rules and laws that apply to that thing go back into effect. Because there's gods here. If there's no gods here, what did the Most High take you out of? He said he's a jealous El. He said you're going to serve Els that your fathers never known, even wood and stone. He said your forefathers don't even know these Els that y'all serving. They don't even know them. And now it's the reason you go back to the Torah so you can stop serving these Els. Most of us was doing a thing when the Most High called us out. Some of us didn't even know what we were doing until we read it, and then we was like, oh, this thing is attached to something. How can I know what I'm doing? And now that you know, again, he took you out of a thing in order to cut a covenant with you based on the name that he had for you in the future. Your actions need to line up with the name that he's going to give you. Your actions have to line up with the name that he's going to give you. That name he's going to give you means something. Daniel mean Elohim is my judge. How you living? Who's our judge when we're being black? Who's standing in front of us? Who do we who for the most part, as being black, are we standing before as a judge? Is Elohim our judge, or is it this heathen nation? When you come into this walk, the Most High say through his word and through his servants that obey the law of the land. Being black is being as rebellious as you can to those laws. And I'm going to expose that. And I want to put certain videos and things together to expose what black is. I want to go over these scriptures. I know it wasn't a lot. I want to go over these scriptures as to give a foundation into the direction in which we're going, into the direction in which the Most High wanted to go. Because it ain't about me. It ain't about you. It's about us. Where are we going as a people? And I want to get to the point where we reject what a nation put on us. I'm going to prove by his word. I pray that Genesis 32, 27 and 28 prove that the Most High called you Yashral. The Most High did not call you black.
Hallelujah.
We're going to expose what that is. And it is a thing. It's a product. I'm not going to go too deep on Negro, but I'm going to show you some things as we go out about when we were Negroes and when we were called Negroes, whether we were in the land or in this land, when we were called Negroes, we were more productive here. When we were called Negroes in the land, in Negro land, when they came into Negro land, they saw kings, judges, they saw cultivators, they saw mothers, they saw artisans, they saw the officers, they saw officers over 50s, 100s. It was even a land over there that even knew the law of Torah, that when any one of their people went and got snatched up into the slave trade, they will put their money together and then go get them. And redeem them out of the Torah. They knew the law of redemption and they kept it. Even travelers went there and said, these people they're older in the scriptures than we are. They practice, and they can only base it in Christianity. They practice a form that we don't even do this. Because Christianity, for the most part, matter of fact, let me hit the gas on that. In all parts, it's a shell of the scriptures of the substance that make it, because the substance is what Yeshua said. If you keep them, do them. Do them. Do them. When it says honor your father and mother, do that. Do it. You can't, what did he say? How can you even love or honor the Elohim you don't see if you hate the brother that you do see? I don't know about y'all. If you telling me there's a whole bunch of love in black, then we lying to ourselves. If you say there's a whole bunch of respect in black, you lying to yourself. Black is something that has been socially engineered and given a law that is jumping right off a cliff. If you do not believe at the end of the book of Daniel, when it says that huge asteroid is going to hit that statue and it's going to break it down, and then a wind is going to come and blow the residue away, black going with that.
Hallelujah.
Ain't nobody about to go into the land called black. No more ain't finna dap us up and say, hey, Shalom, what's happening? You in, black man? That's a black man right there. Boy, you blacker than black, black, black. I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blackity black, but black, black. Ain't none of that gonna happen. None of it. I know, I get it. Some of it's cute. Some of it's a fairy tale, but fairies are demons.
Hallelujah.
And it's time to squash some of this stuff and expose it. Expose it for what it is. It's a disease, a virus amongst our people, and it's tearing us down. Are you not looking at our sisters and these blonde wigs? And are you not seeing the crimes that's being committed with blonde hair on their head? What authority is on that blonde hair? Are you seeing our brothers with these jeans so tight that they can't get right? You can see they hold everything, and they ain't even good with it. And they even look at you with that little fruited look, ready to give you 2 snaps and a wrap.
Okay.
Because obviously, I mean what I'm saying, because they don't see that there's authority in those skinny jeans. Most of the people who made them was a little bit off they self, and when I shake their hand, it's old school. You get it if you get it. They had a little bit too much Hawaiian punch in their cup. And they make this stuff and they give it to us. Who's the number one consumer in the nation, in the world? Black. Who's the number one consumer of social media? Black. Why? Why? If you never ask the question why, then it's going to always be. It's going to always exist. It's going to always eat us up. And then we're going to be so divided that there will never be a connection. You can never have a conversation. You'll never see your brother as a brother, a sister as a sister.
Right.
I get it. Because I ain't gonna lie, some of these brothers be looking so goddamn hard. I'll be like, no, what do I say?
I might shoot you.
What do I say? But I let the Most High say what he got to say. And it's kind of funny that some of them are the best ones you can talk to. Some of them uppity ups, who just came out of that Bayal building on Sunday, them the ones who look at you like you a snooty booty. You gonna tell me about my JC? I know him. You can't tell me nothing. Ever. But let me share something with you. While we were called Negroes and Negroland and brought over here, I want you to look at some dates. I'm gonna share this as we going out, and I'll be done. I'm gonna share this picture with you. This picture was a portrait at a museum in a World Fair presented by W.E.B. Du Bois. I got something to say about that. Anywho, I got something to say about him later on. But he presented this was a picture presented. It was called the Afro-American exhibit, and it presented the best of us. It showed everyday folks, how we dress. Look at that family right there.
Nice.
It's 1899. Huh? That's 1899. Now I'm going to show you something else. I just want to show you that. I like that photo.
Yeah,
I did. I'm going to show you something. This says 101 Black inventors and African Americans. I want you to look at these dates. 1791 to 1856. That's when it was called Negroes. Dry scoring. I don't even know what that is. A prop to modern dry cleaning, pretty much. 1826 to 1905, Judy Reed, a dough kneader and a roller. That's when it was called Negroes. 1731, 1806, striking wall clock in the almanac, Benjamin Banneker. Hey, I know about him, 1731, 1806. That's when it was called Negroes. That's supposed to be a picture of him. All right, don't look too hard, Adrian. You're like you're about to leave me. James 14, 1766, 1842, ship sails, ship sail handles. When it was called Negroes. Hand mill for grinding corn, George Piatt, 1722 to 1827, when we was called Negroes. Andrew J. Beard, 1849 to 1921, Jenny Coppler, when we were called Negroes. That's what they invented, the Jenny Coppler. I don't know what that is. Henry Blair, 1807, 1860, corn seed planter, when we were called Negroes. You see on the side, hair fried down, laid to the side, looking smooth, brother. Hugh M. Browning, 1851 to 1923, sewer backflow preventer. Sewer backflow preventer. A sewer backflow preventer. That means that man was taking a stank up out of there. 1851 to 1923. That's when we were called Negroes. George Washington Carver, 1864 to 1943, crop rotation technique. That's when we were called Negroes. I'm going to stop it right there for a reason. I don't want you to just read that. I want one time ever for you to ever look up George Washington Carver and look at his full life and see what he fully invented. This man's school is still this man's students to this day are so good they know how to grow potatoes with no soil. Up in the vacuums of space at that dome level, they know how to grow food up there for them. All Negroes.
Wow.
My thing is this. Now that they call us Black, what's up with them dates? Where's the ingenuity? Where's the invention? Where's the architect? I'm not saying we don't exist. It ain't mainstream. Why? What's mainstream? What's mainstream with Black today? Okay, if it's rappers, I will actually say it's exactly what Malcolm X warned us about when he said that the liberals are asking and putting in front of Negroes sports figures, comedians, and entertainers. That's who's in front of us right now.
Yes.
We're more worried about what LeBron James wearing to the game and what some female rapper rapping about while she telling you how she gonna take your man with a weave color and the nails is vain things that's not helping us out. We're so stuck now in rotation of vanity now. We're so stuck into it that there's no more ingenuity no more. So that means if this is true, if what I just showed you, and that this website I showed you was 101. I only showed you like what, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them? It's 101. I didn't show you 91 people, but it's all Negro. I went through the whole thing. Nice inventions, things I didn't even know that we invented as a people. That means that Black was used to take away ingenuity. Why? Ask yourself that. What was the purpose?
Who benefits?
Who benefit from us not being inventors? Who benefited from us having remember this, we had a Negro Baseball League. And when we had one baseball player join the MLB, in order for that one to join, they had to give up the Negro Leagues, all of them. Whose hand did it go into? For one, you sacrificed all for one who benefited. Who benefited? You're talking about a league that we don't make up a large population of that. It's Afro Caribbeans make up some, but for the most part, Negroes here in America don't make up a large percentage of baseball. So what did we give up? I'm gonna end it right there. I pray that even this little intro, I pray that you got something out of it. What if you didn't get nothing else from it? If you got nothing else from it, I pray that you start questioning not just Black, everything that has been given to us. If you can look at what's been given to us and it didn't start from within, if it didn't start with us, if it wasn't invented by us, if it don't benefit us, I don't care if it's something like a pick. I don't care if it's turkey jerky. I don't care if it's a mug.
Maybe it's coffee.
Right on, my bad. Splash coffee or what. I don't care what it is.
I got it.
If we can start questioning it, you will start exposing some hands behind some things, and then you will start exposing what their intent behind it is. Because believe me, when something's given to us, remember, was there not intent picking us up from Negro land?
Clear intent.
Was it not intent? The Most High called it a conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
Was it not a conspiracy to pick us up? Then that means that anything that's been given to us, there is something behind it. Somebody got to benefit. Somebody got to want something out of it. And I'm going to tell you something. Do not be so easy and dismissive as just to think that it's a couple of funky dollars, because I'm going to tell you the hidden hand behind our social behavior don't care about money. They got it. They don't care about dollars. They care about sin.
Yes. They in the business of it.
They're in the business of it, but they care about keeping us in it. Because wherever we go as a people, if we're righteous, judgment comes. If we sin, judgment comes. It's a people in the business to keep us in sin so judgment can come.
Yes, hallelujah.
I pray this was edifying.
Hallelujah.
I pray that it's encouraging. You're my family. And question everything.
Hallelujah.
And with that, I'm gonna say Shabbat Shalom for this lesson.
Hallelujah. Man, I told Ayah for this lesson for the day, it just understanding like the title of the lesson was, to understand under whose authority. Under whose authority, why do we call ourselves the things that we call ourselves? Under whose authority have we submitted ourselves unto and submitted to all these stereotypical things and narratives that have been forced upon us as a people? And like the scripture says, there's life and death in the power of the tongue. So we have to watch what we say, because when we say things, then we are speaking either a blessing or a curse upon our lives, even with the names and things of that nature, as Atre so eloquently brought out. And I'm looking forward to the second part teaching of this lesson. And man, such a great lesson, Atre. And I just want to say Toda Yah once again for allowing Yah to use you in such a great way. You brought out a lot of historical things and just lined it up with scripture. You took a lot of scriptural things and lined it up with history, and it was just a great blessing. Great blessing, all right? So listen, just a couple of points I do want to emphasize and elaborate on that Trey brought out. And I just pray that we got the one. Let me put it this way. One of the things that really stuck out to me, and I've been saying this for years. For years I've been saying the same type thing. The importance of understanding a name. The importance of understanding the Hebrew meaning behind things as it relates to Scripture. Because, no matter what these white, Europeanized theologians, historians, they try to tell you about Scripture, especially when it comes to the renewed covenant or the New Testament, they'll tell you, well, it was only written in Greek. That's a lie. That's a lie. The New Testament was not only written in Greek. We have proof and documentations that and findings, archaeological findings that teaches us and show us that a lot of the New Testament writings were written in Hebrew and Aramaic writing, okay? But they want to pull this narrative of the Greek and Latin and Europeanized thought process. Why? Because they want to diminish the Hebraic meaning of the Hebraic roots and the Hebraic faith in which our faith is founded upon. Okay? They want to dismantle that because they want to turn this whole thing into a Europeanized, colonized movement in order to religiously enforce their mindset and their theology and to cover up and hide the true essence of the truth and the origin of the roots and how this movement was birthed forth. Just like I always say, who is the person involved or who are the people involved that gave us the title Christianity? Where did the word Christianity come from? Where did the word Christian come from? And see, a lot of times when we try to explain these things to our people, they don't have an understanding of it. Why? Because there has not been, or I'm not going to say it has not been, but a lot of our people don't dig deeper than the surface of things. They take what they see as face value and then they run with it, okay? So we have to understand the Most High is bringing us back to a Hebraic mindset to understand words in Hebrew. That's why a lot of my teachings for many years, when I first started out in my early 20s, and I got that from my past. I got that from my mentor. I got that from elders. They taught us how to break things down in the Hebrew and to understand pictographical Hebrew and how to break down words in the Hebrew alphabet, understanding the essential parts of the Hebraic language. Not only the modernized, because the modernized Hebrew is watered down, but Paleo, the Babylonian, Chaldean style of Hebrew, and the Paleo. Okay? It's very important to do that. Why? Because, oh, sweetheart, can you get my phone? I got it on my phone, y'all. I got something else I just want to bring out right quick, too. But I want to read this, the Apocrypha writings, okay? Let me see what I did here. Let me pull it up right here. Okay. The book of Sirach chapter 53, verse 6. It all depends on what type of rendition that you have of the Apocrypha. It may be a different chapter and verse. But the book of Sirach, chapter 53, verse 6, this is what it reads. It says, for the same things uttered in Hebrew and translated into other languages have not the same force in them. Did not we hear Trey say that? This is why Daniel's name was changed from Daniel to Belshazzar. Okay? In any type of captivity as it relates to the Israelites, they've always changed our names. They always took our Hebraic names and changed them. Why? Because words in Hebrew have more force in their original Hebraic form and meaning. And when you try to translate Hebraic names into other languages, it has not the same power nor the same force. Come on, I'm going to say it. I don't care how people get upset with me, and I'm going to do a teaching on this too. When they try to tell you, well, Jesus is the translation of the Hebrew word Yeshua or Joshua, okay, or Yahoshua. That's a lie. Because names, proper names, linguistically, I don't care what language you speak, whether it's Chinese, Spanish, Latin, Greek, if it's African dialects, it doesn't make no difference what the language is. A proper name can never be translated. It can be only transliterated. And when you transliterate a name, you identify the same syllables, the same enunciation and sounds of those syllables, and you take the best representation or the representations of those sounds in a different language, and then you translate the original language that you're transliterating, or the name that you're transliterating. You use the best representations of the sounds and the phonics of the sounds of that name into the other language. Say, for instance, the Hebrew pronunciation for the word Abraham is Abraham, okay? Abraham in the Hebrew. But we say Abraham in English. It has the same similar phonics, sounds, and all of that. Even if you take the English name Joshua and the Hebrew name Yahusha or Yeshua or Yeshua or Yahoshua, you can still hear the similarities in the pronunciation. But when it comes to Yahoshua and Jesus, there is no similarities. There is no syllables or phonics that even sound the same. But yet they want to tell you that the name Jesus is a proper transliteration of the Hebrew name Yahoshua, and it's a lie. Okay? Because it don't even sound the same. It doesn't even have the same type of alphabet, or linguistically the dialect or the sounds of the alphabet in Latin or in Greek that is used to represent the so-called transliteration of Jesus to Yeshua don't even make sense. And even if you look up the word, I tell you this, go look up the word Jesus on etymology.com. Look up the word Jesus and on the etymology dictionary online, and they would tell you that it was an attempt. It was an attempt to transliterate the Hebrew name Yahoshua or Yahushua or Yeshua, Jesus. Okay? Okay? So we have to understand, my brothers and sisters, even when it comes to how society has given these bywords and things of that nature, as Trey so eloquently brought out, it is to change the power and the force of who we are as a people. That's what Satan is trying to do. And that's what he has done. And that's why we refer to ourselves in so many negative terms. Like the young people today, they don't mind calling each other niggas. Oh, you're my nigga. I tell them, don't call me that. I'm not that. But we as a people have come so used and familiarize ourselves with these terms that speak death, that speak darkness. So we have to understand that, my brothers and sisters, as a people, and as Trey so eloquently brought out. One more verse here. Genesis chapter 32, as Trey brought out, in Genesis chapter 32, verse 28, where he read from how Yah changed Jacob's name to Israel. And it says, and he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel, for a prince have thy power with Yah and with man. And see, Satan had to change our name from Israel to all these other things and cause the other nations to forget our name and cause us to forget the name in which the Most High had called us by as a nation of people. Why? Because the name Israel invokes power. It evokes the same rulership and authority of the Most High in the earth realm. So in order to bring us unto subjugation and to bondage, they had to make us forget who we are and what the Most High has called us, and to give us these other names that cause us to fall in line and to subjugate us and to bring us into bondage and to slavery in their underneath their agenda, right? So the word name here, I just want to just bring this up right quick. The word name here, let me see here. The word name here, which is a Hebrew word, shame, it is the idea or definite or conspicuous position as a mark or memorial of individuality. Okay? See, they try to take away your individuality. The mark of your individuality. The mark of our individuality that the Most High gave us as a nation of people is Israel. All right? It says honor, authority, character, renown. So this is how people will know your renown, your honor, the authority that you stand in is by your name. Collectively as a nation, individually as persons, okay? Now, let's look. I want to look this one more word up here, and that word is Israel. And Trey brought out a great definition of this word Israel as well too. Look at here. And of course, I've said this so many times that this word Israel, look at this. He will rule as what? Elohim, as the Most High. He will rule as the Most High. A symbolic name of Jacob, also typical of his posterity, Israel. So in order to forget that we were called to rule in the earth realm as Yah, let your kingdom come, let your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. We were the people to represent the kingdom of heaven upon the earth. So in order to bring a people like that underneath subjugation and to diminish us as a people, they had to make us forget who we were and who the Most High called us to be, and that is Israel, and that we have power with Yah and with man as rulers. And like Trey said, when Yahshua comes, he's coming to establish rulership. He's coming to put us in our rightful place as rulers, not as subjects, okay, but as rulers, those who will rule in the power and the authority of the Most High. All right. So that was, man, very powerful stuff, Trey, that you touched on, my brother. Very powerful stuff.